howdy, howdy. This is Cubbypotamus, and it's a great day because we are looking at new pots. Now, this weekend, I had a really great calf fair, and I was talking to a pretty cool guy who watches my show, the farmer's market, and it was just a great conversation. But at one point he said, this autism thing isn't just kind of a label, and I guess my answer was, well, no, it's not. You can measure that with brain activity and stuff, and I guess statistics are kind of overwhelming, that it is very much a real and physical phenomenon. Thing. And I think sometimes people, autistic people feel kind of offended by that, but no, I don't think that's really a good idea. I take that as a compliment, right? Because I just make it look easy, or I am making it look easy when I go to farmers markets and craft fairs and stuff. And I've worked tremendously hard to just get to this point where I just can make it look easy and I can make friends, right? And just all the new friendships that I've gotten these last several years when I learned how to people. It used to be tremendously hard, and I can't tell you how many times I've said like 3 sentences and people were like, I've never heard you say that much in a row, right? That I just didn't talk. And I was just, just consumed with hatred, and I didn't understand why people treated me this way, right? And the fact that I am confident and can be quite charming and warm, I just think that's wonderful that I just don't fit that stereotype, and people who don't know me or have known me for long just think that, oh wow, he's got it all together and people must be easy for him. And maybe they kind of are now, but that definitely wasn't the case in the past. And sometimes you catch me on my channel just laughing about my former girl problems, right? And I think the beautiful thing about that is that used to make me cry. That I laugh about things that I cried about. And, I can get right down to it now. You crying about things is just a precursor to when I'm going to kick its ass and laugh about it. And I will overcome those things that used to hurt me. So, yeah, that's wonderful. And, I can't blame people for, thinking that I look a certain way and making value judgments on that or whatever, because I do it all the time. Everyone does. And I think just resisting the urge to you're going to get offended, but dwelling on that, I think that being offended is something to overcome. And I think that strong is beautiful, and it's just a worthy goal, to get thicker skin, right? And to realize that a lot of people have had it a lot worse than I have. But at the same time, someone tells me they have, and then they've had it so much worse than I think they're full of it, and no, I don't buy that, and I'm not that way myself. So yeah, I'm definitely not looking for sympathy on this channel, I guess, but just understanding for me, and more importantly, my autistic brothers and sisters out there. Okay, little side note, but today we are going to talk about all kind of special interest and comfort items and our routines and stuff. I'm going to look at those holistically together as kind of a single phenomenon, right? It's the autistic drive for the same, We like the same things. We like routines, and also just kind of that focus. Now, I didn't, before I figured out I was autistic, it was really hard to tell because the descriptions didn't match me at all, or at least I thought. But as I delved deeper into it, I just realized that no, I just kind of do all of these things, but these things just look different in practice. You tell people you're autistic, and they're like, well, like Rain Man, right? Oh, I wish. What a stud. I wish I was like Rain Man. I wish that I had superhuman powers, and savants do, they have superpowers. Yeah. But no, I think autistic people are the ones that you miss or come across as very normal, but it doesn't mean they're not struggling. And I think that's kind of the thing, with Rain Man, it's like, oh, you can tell he's crazy, but if a person is confident or doesn't match that stereotype, they're likely to maybe not be believed. Or people think that it's not hard. Now you'll notice these beauties. These are absolutely wonderful. These are cheap Elvis costume sunglasses, and I've had various pairs of these same things for the last 15 or 20 years. I got more in my desk because they're cheap and they fall apart, but I think you'd have to have a mental illness not to think that these are cool, right? And you've probably seen my dog tags before, my dad's dog tag, and my cane, and that's kind of the principle that we like the same things and we like our routine, right? It's this very common autistic trait of finding comfort, right? Comfort items, comfort routines, things that just soothe us. I remember working out in the gym, and I just keep doing the same exercises over and over, even though I'd try to expand. I always wanted to go back to the same things, or, clocking in for years, every single night at work at 10:48, right, to the minute, waking up at a certain minute, getting coffee at a certain minute, going to the same route at a certain minute, wearing black for years on end, every single piece of clothing. And it's, I don't know, I think it's a lot of things, I think it's comfortable for us. But I think more than that, I just like it. I don't know. I'm not sure what exactly is going on there, but that enjoyment of the same thing, right? And the hyper focus, right? It just serves us well, right? I think of, and I used to ride motorcycles, and, I'd know about everything about them, And if you want to love an autistic person, just ask them about, like, their special interest, right? Boom! And I'll just go on and on, right? And I think a good thing to do is to say, okay, you got 5 minutes. Tell me about trains or, pottery or this or that, anime, the things that they love. And they'll just get so excited, right? I mean, I think about Rain Man, reading phone books. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that must have felt so good. We just love that stuff. Our special interest wind us up, And again, this is all related to that preference, that seeking of the same thing. And in a lot of ways, that's kind of a superpower. Pick, two people who are in about every way, equal, right? An autistic and a regular person. Intelligence, looks, or whatever, processing ability, and put them on, like, the same job or whatever, where the autistic person's job is their special interest, right? And, when it comes to that in particular, the normal person is disabled, right? That's like Mike Tyson fighting a 5-year-old just because of how focused we are, right? And we want to know everything, and it's not even about getting paid or this or that, It's that those things are rewards in themselves, right? And this kind of mono-focus, right? And I guess that is kind of a superpower. Autistic people have a reputation for being smart a lot of times, and I think that's oftentimes true. That is very common, but that might not be about processing power in our brains as much as just that we just like stuff, right? It's that focus and obsession that kind of enables us to do amazing things. And companies are kind of catching on to that and trying to find autistic people who are focused, in their areas. Because, we can do anything. Yeah, I don't know. I think about Einstein, and I don't know what his IQ was specifically, maybe 175, I don't know, 1 in 2.5 million, but that means there are thousands of people right now smarter than he was, but maybe one greater genius than he was, right? And that's just all about the focus, right? Right, it's all about those one things. Ooh, isn't that a cutie? And I think of how that's taken shape in my own life, I guess. There have been days when I've worked, when I go to work, then I come home, do my pottery stuff, I work 22 hours in a day, kind of on the extreme, and just love it, makes me happy. Probably sometimes work 16 hours a day, and it's just beautiful, right? Those things that would wear other people out wind us up when it's what we like. And, you know, I'm just proud of that. It's a wonderful way to be. And, oh yeah. So, what does that look like? Well, and it'll vary, you know. You can obviously tell I love my pottery, but it's been fishing has been my main thing in the past, or motorcycles. Back when I was a teenager, guns, you know. Memorized all the ballistics and stuff on the guns. And it's health, exercise, you know. Just those things that catch our fancy, and we follow them. Which is also kind of hard, trying to, I guess, focus on other things, right? That's just kind of torture when we have to get out of our comfort thinking zone. Yeah. And I find that, you know, it's not something I can force my brain to do. You know, I can't just say, okay, I want to like doing this and just pick it up. And I just kind of have to leave, just kind of a trail of breadcrumbs or whatever, you know, leaving things there for my mind to pick up on, right? And trying to get my mind to just latch onto something, you know, it takes time. So it's not something we can probably make ourselves do, but it's not impossible to get new interest. You know, I just have to prompt it, right? And kind of work with my mind to make it do things. Because, you know, I can't necessarily control my mind, but sometimes I can point it in the right direction, right? And I think going back to just loving on your autistic people, you know. Just, ask them questions, right? Get them to talk about the things they love, because that's how you show them love, right? You know, I think among us autistic people, we understand that, you know. We understand just how sacred special interests are, right? And if I'm talking to an autistic person who likes anime, for example, you know, it's not something I really care about at all, but, you know, I want to get them to talk about that just to show that I care about them, right? That's like their children, you know, and that's a very sacred thing to us. Yeah. And one last thing. Anyhow, yeah, I guess this is practical information as much as anything, you know, on how to love an autistic person, you know, and get them to talk about it and let them monologue a bit. You know, we like expressing full sentences and just going deep into things, right? We want the ability to latch on to things and expand on it. You know, and a lot of times we don't have the greatest conversational skills, you know, but I think if you will meet us where we're at, you'll find it pretty rewarding. But yeah, you might want to give us a time limit, or you'll be there for 3 hours later. Yeah, they'll say, oh, you got 5 minutes, you know, and I'll be like, oh, how do I condense this? How do I do it? And yeah, I'll find a way. Okay, well, this was Cubbypotamus, and thank you for watching. Maybe I will see you around sometime.